Hello and welcome to Five Flags. My name is Justin. I'm the owner of Team 53. I partner with Coach Dave Academy and Impel Motorsports to bring you this week's Learn to Drive video for super late models at Five Flags as part of iRacing's 2025 Season 2 Week 1 official series action. If you guys can, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. It does a ton to help us out, gets our message out across YouTube. You've heard me say it before, but I race here in Wisconsin. My daughter wants to start racing karts. Anything that we can do to get more eyes on our page to make it more valuable in the eyes of sponsors, it does a ton to help us, as well as helping out your fellow iRacers. You know, there's a lot of people out there that just don't quite know what they're doing, and this will do a ton to help out. So, um, Five Flags is notoriously loose. It's one of those that it really takes a lot to really kind of develop what you're doing. And so one of the things that you can look at are what tools within the car you have that can really make it easier for you to drive. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But the big thing is just getting the feel down. So we're going to tire heat here for qualifying, and we're going to go lap 2 as our fast lap. It just lap 2 at Five Flags always seems to be better. So tire heating, gas, brake, swerve. Um, it's really going to do a ton to help you out there. We're going to go high here in 3, and you're going to see I'm doing just a little bit more tire heating just to get that ever last little bit in, but I'm pretty much up to speed. Turn 1, I'm going to go into 1, and I'm going to feel out the grip level here. You're going to see it kind of kick out a little bit on exit here, or it felt like it was going to. So it just kind of tells me that it's not quite what I need for lap 1, but lap 2 it should be fine. So we get a huge head of steam. We always like to check our speed at the start finish line. It's a really good measurement tool to see how much speed you're able to carry over the course of a lap. So we're at 129 miles an hour. You can see we're right up tight up against the wall here. Let's go into our cockpit and take a look. One of the things that I always like to talk to people about is making sure you got your arc into the corners proper. So we're up on the track as wide as we can. You can kind of see here when we cross over the Five Flags S's here on where it is on the track, that's kind of gets cut off about halfway. So that's probably a pretty good barometer to know if you're up on the track wide enough. You're going to chip out. And so then as we head towards the corner, you can see start finish line, we start to turn in. We're going to lift about the Gulf Coast Trophy sign here on the inside wall. So about 1, 2, 3 dash lines before it starts to get covered up in rubber. And then we head down here. We're using brake to get the car slowed down and to transfer weight. And I take a nice wide arc. A lot of times when you watch people in real life here at Five Flags, they take a really shallow arc. I've found that the wider arc on iRacing seems to work out a little bit better, driving it a little bit more open than the closed lane that those guys do. But we get down here, no matter what line you take, right about the time you get to the green cone, you almost want to feel like when you're inside the car that you could reach out and grab that green cone. So as we look at it here, you know, we see that green cone coming. We feel like we could almost reach out and just knock it over with our hand. So that's something that I always kind of use as a visual cue. The other thing here that you'll notice, I can't play with my finger, you guys can't see that, but as we look here with the mouse, when we're in this corner, we want to be below this darker gray line and right around this white line for our grip. That's where all the grip strip is here in the corner at Five Flags, is in that lighter gray. Left side's on that. So you get your left side tires down there, start to throttle up about the time pit road exits. And then as you're getting straighter on exit, you can throttle up more. You see we get nice and tight up against the backstretch wall as well. Not really a good barometer on the backstretch to be able to tell if you're tight. I guess the big thing would be where the notch is here in the hood, where it comes up over the air cleaner. If that white line is even with that, you're probably good. If it's to the left of that, you're as close as you could possibly be. So if you guys are looking, that might be the FOV that you want to look at there. And keep in mind, if you're a Team 53 subscriber, you get access to all my iRacing replay files. So what you can actually do is download those onto your computer, load them up, and you can go sit in my car as though you're actually in it with your correct FOV, and you'll see those exact lines, and you can pick out these points and know where you need to be on the track. So as we head into turn 3 here, we're going to start to turn in about the time the billboards start. Again, wider arc into 3. My goal is always to bring this car down and get these right side tires right along these dash lines. So that's what we're going to go for here. We bring it in, right side tires on it. We're going to cross over. And then as we cross over, we're going to start to throttle up. And we're really using that throttle to drive us down the track. We'll straighten out the wheel and throttle good there. So 691. I think this probably, you'll see some fives, definitely once people kind of start getting going. No doubt about that. So it's going to be a week of really kind of refining your line, working on things, and making really minor tweaks to the setup to make it fit you. So let's give you guys a lap inside the car. So there's your lap around Five Flags. Some of you guys are probably going to want to tweak gearing, maybe go up or down a level. You'll definitely want to look at your track bars and what you can handle and just kind of work off of that. So there just should be those minor adjustments. The other big thing, and especially when we start talking about the race setup, is let's go into your options, go under controls, and make sure you have something set for brake bias. I talked about this in the late model stock video, but one of the better tools that you can use, especially in a car like the super late model that is really loose on fresh tires, is you can crank a little bit of extra brake bias into it, and that's going to tighten it up when you first start your run. And then, maybe your first 5 laps, you got to crank the knob the button that you choose. You got to hit it a couple times. But then as you go throughout the run, that's going to go to every 10 to 15 laps. You can just click brake bias. Now, how do you know what brake bias to use? Negative brake bias, so making that number smaller, is going to free the car up, and we can actually hop in here. And let's say you don't have a button mapped, you can go to your in-car adjustments. If you go negative, so you go smaller number, that's going to free the car up on entry. 56 is max. So for our qual set, we have what we have. But that's a tool that you can use if you're really struggling, at least on the short run. I think our race set, there's a little bit of wiggle room for you. So just kind of keep that in mind. Um, Now as we look here race pace wise, let's look at this set of numbers. So you can see here we're about a tenth different here on these first couple laps of every run than what we're going to end up. This was probably our best run here. Well, I can't really say that because that ended up being a 5. So let's just kind of take a look here and see. The qual line is still the same. You're going to get those left side tires under that darker line. Still going to park those right sides on that dash. A little bit lower, though, you can tell. We're kind of cheating down a little bit. Now, I don't adjust brake bias on this short run. I probably should have. As you can see, the nose starts to push a little bit. If I had dropped that down a couple clicks, that probably would have been okay. Or come up on left rear track bar. That will also help for you up on entry. But in general, it's just going to be kind of a little bit of the same. Passing zones here. In my opinion, the best way to pass at 5 flags is going to be off 2 and off 4 to set yourself up to have bottom into 1 and bottom into 3. But a lot of guys like to send it on a dive bomb into 1, a dive bomb into 3, especially if they notice you're taking a wider arc. So you just kind of got to keep that in the back of your mind. But also, don't feel like you have to protect bottom, because if they get there, there's a good chance, especially in 1 and 2, you can just roll the top and drive right around them. A little bit tougher in 3 and 4 to roll the top. So that's going to be key, like I said, is just knowing kind of where those runs are and building that confidence of what runs I need to block and what runs I can just let go. My opinion is, generally speaking, as I smack the wall there, if if somebody's faster than me, I will generally let them go. And my hope is that A, either they're going to burn their tires off, or B, they're going to be so aggressive in trying to get to the front that the next guy who doesn't lift for them is going to cause a wreck with them in it. And I've seen that happen a ton. You can watch a lot of races on iRacing and be in a lot of races, and you start to learn who those people are that kind of cause those issues. So um, just kind of keep that in mind. A little bit of a word of advice for some of you guys who are always like, man, I'm always in wrecks. I'm always in wrecks. Well, it takes two to wreck. So what can you do to avoid it? You guys can sign up for our Team 53 setups. I mentioned how we're using the custom setups here. You can also become a Team 53 subscriber to get access to my telemetry, my replay videos, team53racing.com. Facebook, head over there, give us a like, and then feel free to join our Discord. We love having new people come in. Yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video.